is telephoned. Ring. Jordan Block, come on live on the wreck. Hold tight Sammy Bananas, hold tight Maggie Horn. Hey yo, get ready. All of the ladies.
Maggie Horn, Sammy B, telephone, telephone, telephone. Yo, money for the kid.
That's basically the first thing that I personally was involved in, kind of like in a public way, DJing. So me and my boy Max, when we were both living in Providence, Rhode Island, started this DJ crew where basically we started putting out mixtapes online for free. And so it was kind of right at the beginning of that all happening. Because now obviously that's, like, everybody does that. And so we just did monthly mixes and kind of tried to play whatever we wanted. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, it's the kind of thing that coming down to New York, I already had contacts with a bunch of people like Nick Catch Dubs and the Rub guys, just from like doing parties with them and kind of communicating on the internet. But then, you know, coming down to New York and being able to, like, you know, hang out with them and build with them, meet other people, that's kind of how I think I originally got into it, you know, and ended up meeting people like Maggie through that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be like perfectly honest, and with the beginning of Fool's Gold, I knew Nick, I knew A.K.A, and so I was kind of like right there at the beginning, and it was sort of a right place, right time thing in some respects. But, you know, I kind of was doing these bootleggy DJ records, and so that's how I ended up, like, you know, putting out music with them. And I guess, yeah, it's grown to something bigger, just kind of being involved as they've grown, and I think that the, like, Telephone project really kind of fits with a lot of what they kind of are going for. They're kind of this crossover between, like, hip-hop and like kind of cutting-edge underground dance music, and that's kind of what we're doing. Yeah.
I was DJing. I had done a lot of, like, one-off records with, you know, different people, Curses, Prince Paul. So I was just kind of getting my feet under myself and getting my experience in the studio and DJing. And then I met him just through a bunch of mutual friends. I don't even remember exactly when we met. You know how people meet people in New York, you just never know. And we decided to do Can't Believe It, just kind of on a lark for fun. And it was almost like we were just kidding around with each other until one day he was like, so I have the beat, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it worked out. We had a really good time doing it. So we just kind of moved from there. It sort of took a life of its own. We didn't plan on being Telephone. We were just like, hey, let's do this track. And then it started getting play on, like, Power 106, and, you know, we were like, oh, we might have something here. Let's try it again. Yeah. And
right, yeah, I know. I mean, like, with like Maggie was saying, like, in New York, like, you, like, run into someone, and then you see them again, and maybe, like, you haven't even officially met them, but, like, then you kind of know them because you know who they are. And, like, with Maggie, I'd sort of had heard some of this other stuff that she was talking about, like the Curses track, and that had got me interested in working with her. So I think that, you know, right, this, like, opportunity came up where we were basically just talking about doing a cover of that T-Pain song, and it's one of those things that actually went from being just talk to being, like, a real piece of music.
Jordan Block, come on live on the wreck. Hold tight.
Like, the first guest artist that we worked with was actually Telly from Ninja Sonic for the Turn My Swag On cover that we did. And, you know, I think that, like, just the process of trying to work with other people, you know, kind of came about the same way as, like, us wanting to collaborate on something, you know?
We were just kind of like, oh, you know, this would sound good with, you know, a rapper on it. Like, oh, let's get, you know, somebody that we know is really good and that we have ties to, and, you know, bring them all in. And the same thing with Jadon, who I've known for probably a good 5 or 6 years and been, you know, a big fan of his, and so was able to, you know, reach out, and I've always kind of wanted to work with him, so it was kind of like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity. Like, hey, do you want to jump on this? I think this would be perfect for you. And he ended up just murdering that track.
I'm like so impressed by that dude.
Because we have like so many samples now to use for our live show just from that track, just from like the drops he did. You know, he did this one thing. He's like Sammy bananas, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's just he used that all the time. And telephone, like all of it. It was perfect. It was perfect. He was
on some like Jay-Z shit. Like he just like it was literally like he did this one take, and there's all that ad-libbing stuff at the beginning and the end of the song. All that was just like he just did that once. And it was like, this is awesome.
See, yeah. If you feel good, if you're feeling good, put one hand in the air. See, yeah.
Like, my sensibilities as a producer, I feel like I often am trying to like approach problems and like solve them with what is relevant for that particular moment. Like if there's a remix that I'm doing and the song sounds a particular way, I'm going to approach it maybe different than another song which might sound a different way. It's not like I'm going to be trying to take like one approach to everything, like regardless of what it sounds like. If I, you know, if there's a song remixing that has like more of a rock vocal, I might do it differently than if I'm remixing a song, you know, like the Kid Cudi remix that I did, you know, which is like just straight rapper. And so with Telephone, like I think that kind of really has a lot to do with how we approach what we're doing, because the whole idea is like recontextualizing a song that you already know, you know.
And I think that it works really well because we actually have similar sensibilities as, you know, artists and what we like and what we like to hear. So, you know, he's pulling from, you know, his different dance sensibilities, as am I, and then, you know, we're also infusing like the whole pop and, you know, R&B and everything that we really like and listen to, and kind of melding it all together. And I think it works because we both like a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So